Hello, welcome back. This is Scary Movies and Coffee. I am your host, that VHS dude. In this video, we're going to explore and look into 5 films on Shudder that you should watch. So let's get into it. Number 5, Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage. Yeah, the Cage, my favorite actor. I like this movie. People are going to hate me and say this is an unpopular opinion, but I enjoyed this a little more than Mandy, actually. And Mandy's on Shudder, so I had to put this higher on the list for 5 films to be recommend. This film is a Richard Stanley film. Like I said, it's based off a Lovecraft story. Uh, he owns a farm, and a meteor hits right in front of it, and or- orgasms, start turning things into like extraterrestrial insect type things. Like they start getting affected. His alpacas get affected. That was a ridiculous scene with the alpacas. You have to watch it to know. They have Tommy Chong on the cast. This one, he's like what you would call a squatter that never left the property, so he ended up having like permanent residencies there. You'll see if you see the movie. So yeah, I put this at number 5. I like the color palette of this movie. The cinematography was good. The whole story was crazy. I'm not really big on like extraterrestrial movies, and it is. Uh, Side note there, because I did mention Mandy. It is the same producers of Mandy, so you'll see the color of it would match Mandy and this movie. So I still recommend if you see Mandy and see this one, watch this one, or vice versa. You saw this one and you see Mandy, I will recommend Mandy, but it's not on the top 5 list. So if you're a Nicolas Cage fan such as me and you have Shudder, check out Color Out of Space. Number 4 is Exuma. This is a K-horror film. If you don't know what K-horror is, it's Korean. It's on Shudder. This movie was kind of crazy. It reminded me of the Korean film called The Whalen, if you ever seen that one. I do recommend this one. It's pretty much what Google's saying. It's the process of excavating an ominous grave unleashes long hidden secrets and dreadful consequences buried underneath. See, that's where it is. Where I'm really chapped on is why are you digging up graves? Like that should be a no-no. And like in the film, you'll see like they go to the grave site, which is in like the middle of nowhere up on the mountain in the woods, and they see foxes there, like watching them like dig up this ominous grave, and the one guy's like freaking out and was saying, "Oh, there's foxes there. Did you see the foxes? That's an omen. Well, you shouldn't even mess with it." And it doesn't help when they got it back to the hospital morgue. The one guy takes like a crowbar and opens up the casket to begin with. I guess thinking there's riches in there or something, and that's when things really hit the fan. And they pretty much saying on Google, in a nutshell, is disturbing, yes. Enigmatic, yes. Moody, yeah, I guess. I mean, this one's like has the folk horror to it, so this does run 2 hours and 14 minutes. So you're gonna expect like a slow burn out of this one, and it is a slow burner for sure. But I overall enjoyed it. I think a lot of people will. It did get 91% with Rotten Tomatoes. Excellent. It made 97.2 million USD in the box office. So it's really not that bad. 6.9 out of 10 is IMDb gives it. Check out the trailer. If you have Shudder, definitely check it out. It is my 4th pick. I really did find it kind of chilling. Like I said, be prepared for a slow burn. It is. Give it a chance, though, and be ready to read subtitles. Unless you know Korean, there you go. So yeah, give Exuma a shot. And that's at number 4. Alrighty, you night owls. Guess what number 3 is? That's right, Late Night with the Devil. And if you don't know what one that is, I gotta say it's one of the best 2024 films, and I'm glad Shudder has it. It's a Shudder original. I put it at number 3. It's about a late night TV show in 1977. I guess things just get out of hand and go wrong, I could say. It's not like your typical possession movie. It had a different approach to it, which I liked. I liked the whole movie itself because it was like very creative on how it was set up. It made it look like you were watching it in the 70s, which is pretty cool. Uh, Things just escalate pretty well in that movie, I think. The ending, I'm not going to spoil it. A lot of people got iffy with. And it really, I don't know. It really made the movie, I think. Um, I want, I would say you should go watch it. It's definitely a good one if you haven't seen it already. Definitely in my book, it is in 2024. That is a good one of the best horrors that came out. Um, and we'll go back to number 4 there too. Exuma, that has to be on my tops too of 2024 on Shudder. So Late Night with the Devil. If you didn't see it yet, I highly recommend that one. Give it a shot, you night owls, and you'll know what I'm talking about after you watch it. Time for an intermission to say, don't forget to subscribe and trinkle that bell beside, and you'll get notified when new videos of Scary Movie and Coffee is up. I appreciate all that subscribed already. Now let's go to number 2. Number 2 is Terrified. Not Terrifier, Terrified. It's a Shudder original. It's about paranormal researchers go investigate mysterious paranormal activity in a Spanish city. So that gives it away that the movie's nothing but Spanish. It's let me tell you, it's a strange one, and it's pretty rough to watch too. There's some scenes that are you're just pretty intense. It's not for the faint of heart. On the cover you see there, it says a gory, gruesome gem. I actually picked a copy of this up at the Dollar Tree on DVD, and I was like, the cover itself, like, intrigued me. But you never judge a book by its cover, they say. In this case, I kind of did, and I'm glad I watched it because I actually really like it. And for a Shudder original, it's really decent. That's all I gotta say. And there's tons of reason, like from the cinematography, the effects, the whole story. Although you gotta read it in subtitles unless you know Spanish. There I go again with the if you know that language. It's a pretty good watch. I do recommend it, and it lands in my number 2 spot of movies you should watch on Shudder. Terrified. And here's the main event for your number 1 movie that I pick is When Evil Lurks. It so happens because my number 2 is Terrified. It's the same director. When Evil Lurks, it has to be one of the greatest ones I've seen in Shudder. It's a rough watch, of course. There's some scenes in there you're just gonna be like, "What the fuck just happened?" Because I sure as hell did. It blows your mind. Sorry, it got me even stuttering. It's like I said, one of the best movies I saw in 2024. So it definitely deserves a number 1 pick. It is in Spanish, so you're gonna have to read the subtitles unless you know Spanish. Uh, there's so much I could say about this movie. It's wild. There you go. Let's sum it up as it's just wild. If you didn't see it yet, I definitely recommend it, and that's why it's number 1. If you have Shudder, or if you think about getting Shudder, or you should, after listening to this, just subscribe to Shudder just for at least a month. Check it out. I think you can watch it actually through Hulu too. My brother said through Hulu it's on there, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, When Evil Lurks is your number 1. It's my number 1 pick for movies I recommend on Shudder. So I want to thank you all for listening. I have another video coming up within this week. I am back. It's been 2 years. For those who subscribe, thank you so much. My new subscribers, you ring that bell beside you, be notified when that VHS dude drops another scary movies and coffee. Until next time, have a good night, folks. Stay cool.